Hello, and welcome back to HunterTuned. Today we are messing with the Mustang some more. I had gotten a lot of suggestions from my buddy Mike, and we've been playing with the car quite a bit the last day or two. And I still think this converter is a little bit tight for the setup, but we kind of got it just takes a long ass time to build up on the converter. It plain and simple, I pull the brake, I floor it, and it takes a good while for it to come up into boost on the brake. It still does. We got it to come up on the brake finally after sitting on it for a little while. Once the boost hits like 3 or 4 pounds, it goes right up to like 10 to 15 pounds. And we just got to find that RPM where that's set at and set the 2-step there so we can kind of get a handle on the boost setting. So we're going to do that in the next day, I would think. We'll play with the 2-step a little bit more. But I did take the car out for a drive, and well, the stock Mustang drive shaft is definitely showing its weakness now, especially with this converter that's coupling and actually mile and houring how it should. I took this thing off on the road, and when it takes a while to come up into boost now with this converter, like just rolling on it in 2nd or 3rd gear, but when it hits, boy, it hits. I'm hoping that this converter, if I can get it to leave out of the line and keep it up in the RPM and in boost the whole time, that this thing should go pretty fast. The motor is doing pretty good. We changed the oil for 1540, and we got 30 to 35 psi hot oil pressure, which is, you know, way more than it had. So I might switch to a 2050 after this oil change, but we'll see where it goes. So yeah, anyways, car's running good. We actually just did a Acura RSX. I really wish I would have fucking filmed some of it, but this damn Mustang and some other stuff that I got going on has just been really kind of stressing me out lately, and filming has been the last thing on my mind. So anyways, we did have an RSX in here that we were tuning. If you guys follow my Facebook at all, you guys seen a picture of it. It was a built high compression K24 RSX with a K20 head, and it had cams, valves, it had a built head, built bottom end. Great setup, guys. This thing just ripped. Like, we got it tuned up. It was on K-Pro E85, and it just ripped. Like, this was an awesome setup. I really want a car like that because man, all motor power is something crazy awesome in those cars. And we knocked out 279 horsepower with this all motor K series that we were tuning on. We'll probably see more of that car. Guy's actually local. He lives in my town, so I'm sure we'll see more of that car later. But we kind of just got it tuned up for him, got it running good, because when he brought it over, it was detonating kind of bad, and it was running lean and all that kind of stuff. So we got the cam angle sorted out, we got the fueling done, we got the ignition done. That car just runs perfect. So that's an awesome car. Another happy customer out the door. We got another couple of them coming, but I've been trying to manage my time good so we can get a lot of the other projects done for the channel, because Mustang has been a huge part of the channel, and I'm trying to keep some content rolling on it. I want to keep content rolling with like my Hondas, and yeah, it's just been tough lately with being so damn busy with stuff. And then that is a sketchy looking spider. You guys see that thing? What kind of spider is that? It's like black and white. I'm sorry, buddy. It's your time to go. So anyways, I realized I just kind of brought up the Mustang drive shaft and didn't elaborate on this situation. So anyways, I took the car out for a drive yesterday, and the drive shaft that's in the car is still the stock Mustang drive shaft. And I told you guys in one of the last videos, I said I'm gonna need a drive shaft. Like, I already know it, because the yoke that's on the front of the trans was too big. Like, it was a long yoke, and it kind of made up for the slack in the drive shaft. The drive shaft was too short, so the yoke made up for the drive shaft being too short, kind of thing. And that's what I did back when I first built the car, and it was ghetto, and I just kept running it because it never broke. But now the U-joint on the front end of the drive shaft started to get some play in it, and then I noticed I greased them, and noticed now with the new bushing in the transmission that the yoke was actually rubbing on that bushing and not allowing the yoke to actually slide freely how it should. So I pretty much just kind of finessed the yoke, you could say, and got the yoke to slide in and out of the trans better, but it only went into the transmission, I want to say like 1 to 2 inches, which I feel like it should go in at least like 3 to 4, just so it's like more stable inside the end of the transmission there, and it doesn't have room to like wobble around, which it definitely is wobbling around, because I took the car out yesterday, and moral of the story is, the yoke, I had to bang on the drive shaft to get the yoke to seat into the transmission because that new bushing was so tight. And in the process, I think I fucked up the drive shaft a little bit, you know, just from banging on the ends where the U-joints go. So, anyways, I took the car out just to see how the converter was, and stabbed it in second gear, going like 40, 50, you know, and it just went, and then it ripped. You know, it took a hot minute to get it to come up in the boost. So I was like, man, this converter's way too fucking tight, which I feel like it is still a little tight for my setup, but you know, it is what it is. I guess we'll just try to run it and see how it does. But anywho, so I took the car out, and when I clicked it into third gear, the thing just rattled my windows apart. Like, it just vibrated like crazy. And I'm like, there ain't no way I'm racing this thing. It's way too sketchy right now. So, like I said, the drive shaft started vibrating a lot worse. And I actually took the drive shaft down this morning already, took the drive shaft down to a local semi shop, and they're making me a drive shaft, and it's gonna be done tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, we're trying to race the car Friday, and they said they'd give me a drive shaft, custom drive shaft made by tomorrow, which is awesome. I can't thank them guys enough. So hopefully we'll have that done by tomorrow, and yeah, we got a couple other things going on at the shop, and yeah, so anyways, a lot of stuff going on, but we're fucking keeping on. So thanks for still watching the videos, guys, even though if a lot of it's just me talking. They'll get better with time, I promise. My power to the gauges. You gotta what?
Mess with the power, I gotta move it. Because right now it's set up. Because I didn't want to fuck with it because it was like 2 in the morning. So it's just set up to my switch for the speed sensor. So when I cut that out, it cuts power to the gauges and shit.
I just run the gauges to the radio fuse usually. Because the radio fuse is a switch to power.
Yeah, I didn't
so
have
whenever
like,
you flick the key,
I didn't have like an fuse or anything like that.
I just take the fucking wire and jam it around the fuse and plug the fuse in.
Well, yeah, but I had big fucking wire.
So, this is HunterTuned Vlogging 101. Today we're driving Christine, or... You're not my girlfriend, dude, I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Today we are driving Cristiano's Christian. We're driving his Civic, the world's famous PVC pipe single cam that he recently gave up on and went fucking aluminum intercooler
I didn't
piping.
give up on it.
You're never gonna hear the end of it from me. But anyways, car runs real good.
Yeah.
Car's running good. We got the tranny fixed. We went to Harbor Freight, tried to swap out a jack, and they pretty much told me to get bent. So we're out of a floor jack now. So we're gonna have to use our bare hands to put cars up on jack stands.
Oh,
but anyways,
just push them over.
Right. So we are. I talked to Dusty from PTC on the phone, and he was giving me some recommendations of what I can do to the tune-up on the Mustang. So we tried putting timing into the Mustang at like 0 pounds of boost to try to get it to build some RPM, and it did not help. So we're gonna try some more things with the Mustang, obviously, with the 2-step and stuff, but turbo being a little lazy, being an 80 mil, maybe, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't have problems, you know, at 3,800 RPM, a 2-step, but this car's always had problems coming up and building boost on the trans brake ever since I got it. Ever since I got the 80 millimeter turbo, I should say. So.
You know what I hate? When motherfuckers don't do the speed limit.
Yeah, it is a little bit of annoying. So we're gonna try to, I'm gonna try to show Christian how to launch his car, because last time we went to the track, he broke an axle inside of his differential. And I told him it probably wouldn't have broke if you would have preloaded it. He said he did. So we're gonna just try to go out and practice today and see what we can figure out with Christian's driving.
All full tire pressure.
Yeah, street tires hurt.
On street tires. Yeah.
So Christian's gonna run Michael's 22-inch slicks, hopefully on Friday, and hopefully I'll have the Mustang done and we can race that too. But Christian's gonna try out the smaller slicks and see if he can bust off a better time. Because I feel like Christian's car should go pretty fast, honestly. It's a similar bottom end to Michael's. It's just the Eagle stock length, like 8:1 compression ratio, low compression, but it has a smaller turbo than Michael's, so this thing makes a way bigger power band. And yeah, so another thing too is a lot of people, Michael only really got to make like a pass or two on his new setup, but a lot of people were saying like, you know, it should trap higher, Michael's car should trap higher, but the thing is with single cams, they're a lot tougher than like a B series or a K series. That's why like Michael's car did not trap as high as it should have, because it had a power band window about 1500 RPM wide, and it constantly was building into that 500 horsepower. It was never like, it wasn't 500 all the time, you know what I mean? Where like, that's why all motor K-series cars that make 300 horsepower go fucking 10s, because they make a power band window so big that the car's always in power. Where, and same with like a good sized turbo B-series car is kind of the same, you know, scenario. Whereas if you have a good turbo combination with the engine, you have a bigger power band, the car will actually do what it's supposed to at the track. Where, you know, in Christian's car, that's why I was saying Christian's car will probably go pretty fast, because his car has a smaller turbo than Michael's, and it has a wider power band, if that makes sense. So it's tough to deal with like big turbo stuff. Like Michael's setup was really designed to rev 10,000, 11,000 RPM with the size turbo he had, and the camshaft that he had in it was designed for like extremely high RPM, and we didn't want to spin the motor that high, so we cut the RPM at like 800 or something. And that's, you know, the power band wasn't that big at that RPM, because a single cam takes a lot longer, takes a lot more RPM to spin the turbo. And yeah, so hopefully you guys got a little bit of a history lesson, not a history lesson, but like a fucking engineering explained lesson right there. Alrighty guys, so we are out at the shop now, and we started messing with a few things out here. I actually got the CRX pulled out of the shop, because I think I'm going to just start kind of dailying the car. I want to get an exhaust for it, for the CRX. This video is literally just fucking blabbing and vlogging. Like, yeah, so don't expect anything too cool. But thanks if you're still watching. I appreciate you. But anyway, so we got the CRX out of here. CRX is running pretty good now, actually. It just is a little bit smoky because it has the rings and pistons from the turbo motor that was in the hatch, and we had the rings gapped pretty big, and the cylinders aren't really honed that good, and a whole mess of other things. What I did notice, though, is the Mustang burned oil when I pulled it apart, right? I didn't put rings in it. I didn't put fucking new rings in any of it. I put different pistons in, but I reused the same rings that were in there. And it proves my theory of ring thing. Yeah. Of the ring fucking don't need them kind of thing. As long as they're intact and not broken, you're good. The thing is, the cylinders on this were super dull. Like, they were, there was no cross hatching whatsoever, and this thing would smoke on a startup. Now, I've started it 100 times. Doesn't smoke a fucking lick. Like, no smoke, no fucking venting from the catch can, nothing. And none of the rings were broken before, but the cylinders were just glazed. You know what I mean? So, they were pretty glazed. But anyways, so, yeah, so this thing doesn't burn any oil now. We got the cylinders honed up good and all that. So, anyways, that's going to be it. Another thing we were messing with, and I could really use your guys' advice on this. I don't know what we're going to do, but this is the transmission that came out of my red turbo hatch. And we cannot, we can't for the life of us get this fucking axle out of the transmission. it is twisted in the diff or something, or the clip is stuck or something. We literally, I'm already fucking the case up. Like, the case is all messed up here because I've been literally pounding on this thing for fucking days and days and days and days and days. And I cannot get this fucking stub out of the damn diff. Like, it's stuck. Stuck bad. And I want to split the cases on this trans because I want to use the gear stacks, which have carbon line synchros. And I just freshened this gear stacks up before I put this thing together. I want to use these stacks with a different diff probably, because this one's probably munched, and use it with a twin disc clutch in the purple car. So that's what I want to do with the transmission, but I can't get the cases split because the axle is stuck in the diff. So if we go to pull the case, it'll only come up till the axle here because the diff is the last thing that comes out of the bottom side of the case here. You have to pull the gear stacks before you can pull the diff, and we don't know what we're gonna do. I don't really want to cut the case, but like, I don't know what else we're gonna do. We might, unless we can cut the stub of the axle, but that's like hardened steel, and I don't know how the hell we're gonna get an angle grinder in here, or even a Sawzall for that matter, without fucking cutting the case in the meantime. So I don't know what we're gonna do. This one is definitely stuck pretty good. So yeah, there's that. So we have to figure out how to get this case split. This is just like a typical B series transmission here, but yeah, she's fucking dickered. But I want to get this car together here really soon. I'm very excited to be getting it done. I'm literally just waiting on my connecting rods, guys, because they've been at the machine shop for like fucking a month or longer, like 2 months. We got the crank over here, mint as fuck, waiting to go. I got a set of bearings, I got new valves, new head gasket. Like, I have a lot of the stuff to put it together, but we can't put it together. I still need springs and retainers, and I still need LMAs. Yeah, LMAs. I'm gonna buy like the Skunk 2 LMAs, and then fucking clutch. The clutch is gonna be pricey because I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. If any of you have a B series twin disc that you want to sell, or like a super single clutch that's like good, like a good one that it has good disengaging properties, because like the Comp Stage 4, like it just doesn't disengage good enough, especially the one that it's in the CRX now. So anyways, that's gonna be it. We'll probably pick up here in a minute, and I'll pick up when we get back to the house or when we start fucking with Christian's car or something else. So yeah, stick around and we'll be back in about 2 fucking seconds. Alrighty guys, so we are back at the house now, and it's actually a few days later after I've been filming those last random couple clips. If you guys made it all the way to the end, be sure to hit the like button so I know kind of how many people are running all the way to the end. It kind of gives me a little bit of a more motivation to keep filming stuff all the time, but like I said, I've just been really busy lately, and filming has been like the last thing on my mind. So I apologize about the lack of footage, or the shitty footage, I guess you could say, of me just kind of blabbing. I'd like to get some more action on the channel, you know, us messing around on the street or on the dyno some more, or tuning cars or whatever, because that's really what the channel should be about. But you know, it's been a lot of me talking a lot of the whole time on the channel here. But anyways, so we're back at the house now at the old Ron's Repair. My dad's got the garage all decked out now, and he's doing small engine stuff, and yeah, so pretty cool. Got the garage all decked out now for my dad. But anyways, my dad actually just ordered a lift kit for his CRV, and we might be doing a video on that here coming soon. He has got that Honda CRV that we picked up, and he's gonna lift it and maybe put some bigger tires on it and stuff. But anyways, update on the Mustang stuff. We actually got the car working very good. We got Michael actually made a custom fan shroud for me. We went and got some pretty thin like sheet metal, and we bent up a fan shroud for the car, and we actually put a shroud on it because beforehand I just had the fans kind of zip tied onto the radiator, and it wasn't actually getting all the air or all the hot air out of the radiator because it didn't have a shroud. So now we have a shroud on the radiator with the 2 cooling fans, and the car doesn't get hot anymore, or it doesn't seem like it's getting hot. And like I said before, there was a couple issues we were having with the car this whole week, and one of them was the drive shaft, which we got the new one installed, the custom drive shaft that I got made, and the car just drives beautifully. Like, it has never driven so smoothly ever. It's always had driveline vibration, and I just sent that bitch 990, 143 to be exact. Way too fast for that drive shaft. It should have broken a long time ago, but it didn't, thank God. And yeah, like I said, we got the new drive shaft in there now, and everything is smooth, drives good, it doesn't have any vibrations, should take some good power, new U-joints, the whole ball and wax there. So anyways, drive shaft's done, and then we had another issue with the car where it was getting hot, and it's kind of always ran hot, and everybody was telling me that, like, you know, put a lower thermostat in it and put, you know, F-body radiator in it. So I did that, and then we put different fans on it, and then everything else, and the fan shroud really helped out a lot. So the fan shroud is one thing that kind of helped the temperatures cool off a little bit. We sat in the shop and put the thing on the trans brake like 10 fucking times, and the hottest it got was 205 degrees. So that is a big improvement, because beforehand I'd only be able to come up on the brake 2 or 3 times inside the shop, and the thing would be 220, 225. So we got the cooling situation a little bit better now, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot racing at the track. We do plan on going tomorrow to the racetrack and taking the Mustang and Christian's car racing. Michael also might race his 2007 Civic SI. So that's another thing that we might be doing, is he'll be racing his car. And then Christian's car on slicks should do pretty well. We're going to see if we can bust off some good times with Christian's car as well as the Mustang. But yeah, so anyways, Mustang's doing good. We got the car build and boost on the trans brake now. It's still a little lazy coming up to it, but if I sit there long enough, it does build boost, and I can get the thing to launch, hopefully. So we got everything packed up into the truck, and we're ready to go racing tomorrow. So anyways, I'm excited. It's been kind of a long time coming for me this year. We've had a lot of problems and a lot of hiccups along the way to get to a state where we're ready to go racing, and it's one of these times, or most of the time when I take the cars out, there's always something like, oh, we're rushing, or we're not ready completely to go racing. And this time I can honestly say I'm pretty confident that the Mustang is ready to rip. Like, the oil pressure is great. It's got 40 to 45 PSI at idle hot. Now, you know, in the heat, it's got 30 to 35, but when it's like, you know, moderately not super hot out, it's got 40 to 45 pounds of oil pressure, and everything is looking good on the Mustang. So I'm hoping to send it. We're probably going to run it on gate pressure, which is around 14 pounds, and we're going to see if we can bust off like a couple low 10-second passes, maybe a high 9 on wastegate, and then I might, depending on how risky and how frisky I'm feeling tomorrow, we might give it the sauce. I don't know. That car in 20 pounds should make like 700 to 800 wheel, and it should go a mid 9 to a bottom 9, maybe. I'm not sure, but remember, guys, it still is the stock rear end, so I don't really want to launch the car super hard. I don't want to break it. I just want to go have fun, because like I said, it's been a long time coming for me to be able to have one of my cars ready to go racing, and man, I can't wait to scratch that itch tomorrow. So I'm excited to go racing. It's supposed to be beautiful weather, 80 degrees and sunny, so hopefully all goes well. And hopefully you guys stick around for the next video of us racing at the track tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for all the support, guys, on the YouTube channel. We just crossed 14,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Thanks for the support on the website. We've just been freaking chucking out orders this week, and yeah, just busy. It's a good thing, though. So anyways, thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Have a great night and a better tomorrow.